Chapter 13, Jade Skin. While Xiaolongyan was struggling to kick Han Sen, the latter ignored him and rammed his face with the cow head. It didn't take long before Xiaolongyan's body went limp. When Han Sen finally calmed down, he was already dead, with his face smashed in like a hunk of meat. With the body of a bloody slayer and sacred blood beast soul armor, even those who practiced Hyper-Geno arts couldn't resist such brutal impact. Han Sen let go of the body, and Xiaolongyan fell to the floor like a pool of mud. Having dismissed the beast souls, Han Sen felt a severe pain. It was hurting so much in a few spots that it felt like his bones were broken. Han Sen dreaded to think what could have happened. He was injured so badly, even with the shape-shifting in armor. Xiaolongyan's Hyper-Geno art was really quite something. If he had the same beast souls, Han Sen wouldn't be a match for him. Looking at the dead body, Han Sen hesitated and then searched the body. There was a wallet, with no cash but several crystal credit cards in it, deluxe ones with high credit lines. He also found a memory chip. After some thought, Han Sen destroyed the wallet and credit cards and threw them, along with the dead body, into the deep pond, while keeping the memory chip. Several iron-toothed crocodiles emerged from the water and snapped at the dead body. Soon even the bones were gone. Han Sen was relieved and turned away. Too injured to keep hunting, Han Sen returned to Steel Armor Shelter, enduring the pain. The gang of Son of Heaven were still looking for Dollar, and the bounty had been raised. Unfortunately, no one had any interaction with Han Sen, so no one would know Dollar was actually Ass Freak. People were still talking about Dollar on the streets. Han Sen went all the way back to his room and checked out the copper-toothed beast, which had turned bronze in most parts, although the shade was still lighter than a true mutant copper-toothed beast. It probably would take more time for the evolution to complete. Teleporting out of God's sanctuary, Han Sen went to see a doctor. Multiple fractures of the bone were diagnosed, and it took the doctor a long time to fix all of them. Fortunately, Han Sen still had the 10,000 he earned from Suxiao, or else he wouldn't even have been able to afford the medical bills. Back home from the hospital, Han Sen closed the door and inserted the memory chip into a smart gadget, trying to find out Xiaolongyan's identity. Able to cross the mountains and swamps to reach Steel Armor Shelter and having practiced a Hyper-Geno art that looked very advanced, Xiaolongyan would be very a formidable opponent if he still had his beast souls with him and had not been injured. The smart gadget displayed the contents of the memory chip and Han Sen only had to look for a while before he became wild with joy. Hyper-Geno arts. It's a tutorial for Hyper-Geno arts. Han Sen almost laughed out loud. The hologram stored in the chip was a naked woman making odd movements while reciting arcane incantations. With each movement, she would also give some explanation. Although the woman was extremely beautiful, Han Sen was completely attracted to what she was talking about and had no other thoughts. Jade Skin. Isn't this the Hyper-Geno art used by Xiaolongyan? Han Sen had seen the power of Jade Skin when Xiaolongyan used it, and became even more happy. Having locked himself in the room for 48 hours, Han Sen finally memorized everything in the chip and destroyed it, as it could become a pitfall in the future. After watching the Jade Skin tutorial, Han Sen had a stronger sense that Xiaolongyan must have been somebody significant. Han Sen began to practice Jade Skin as he was recovering. He had thought before about buying a tutorial of a Hyper-Geno art, after he had earned some money. However, the ones that could be bought were all cheap, unlike Jade Skin, which he could tell was premium. Knowing that practicing Jade Skin might eventually expose him, Han Sen still decided to begin. If he missed Jade Skin, he might never have the opportunity to practice a premium Hyper-Geno art. Having practiced for several days, Han Sen felt his body had become cooler, and his body temperature was indeed 35 degrees Fahrenheit lower than normal. It was not a discomfort, but rather a refreshing feeling. Han Sen felt more fit, as if his body cells were full of energy. His body temperature didn't change further as he kept on practicing. Han Sen became more and more fit and his skin more and more smooth. Han Sen, what have you been up to lately? It's been a while since we met. Let's hang out sometime. The hologram of a smiling handsome long-haired man about Han Sen's age popped out from the camera link. Where are we going? Han Sen was delighted to see Zhang Danfeng, the long-haired guy. They grew up together, and he was son of Mr. Zhang, the lawyer. Come out first. Han Hao and Zhu Zai are also with me, and we are almost there, Jiang Danfeng said. Sure. Han Sen nodded and went out the door. There was a small private jet parked outside, and Jiang Danfeng was waving to him from the driver's seat. Han Sen got in and saw a girl and a guy talking in the back seats. The girl named Zhu Zai was very pretty and gentle, and the guy was Han Hao, son of Han Sen's fat aunt. Han Sen's aunt was an aggressive woman, so Han Hao inherited her family name. The four young people had all grown up together. However, after Han Sen's father's accident, he could only go to integrated compulsory education, while the rest were in private schools. Han Sen nodded to Han Hao and Zhu Zai and sat in the co-pilot seat. Han Hao took a look at him and continued to talk to Zhu Zai, ignoring Han Sen. Zhu Zai, you should see it. Dollar just waved his hand and turned into a monster with horse legs, a human upper body and a cow head in golden armor. Son of Heaven and his gang could do nothing but watch him gallop away.